and welcome to Rooster Hooch Presents. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my cheddar stuffed bacon wrapped jalapenos. That's Lewis, he says hi. So what you're going to start with is you need some of the largest jalapenos you can find. The little jalapenos, they'll work, but they're harder to stuff. So I like to find the nice big ones. First thing you're going to do is, well, I should say that you're probably going to need 12 to 14 jalapenos because you also need a pound of bacon, and the number of strips in a pound of bacon does vary. There's usually between 12 and 14 strips, especially if it's a difference between regular cut and thick cut. So you're going to start with about 12 to 14 jalapenos. First thing you're going to do is take your jalapeno and lay it down. See how it shifts? It finds its flat spot? You need to know that, because what you're going to do is turn it so you're just taking off the top third. See that? It gives you a nice big jalapeno well. Now you notice I'm wearing gloves because the last thing you want to do is play with 14 jalapenos and accidentally touch something soft on your face or, hey, anywhere else for that matter. So once you've got your jalapeno cut, you want to leave the stem on. That's going to make it easier to handle later. You're going to take a spoon and go down inside, and you're just going to cut the top where it meets the stem. You want to be careful not to break any of the outside of the jalapeno, because if you do, then the cheddar is going to get away. But you're going to carefully hollow out. You see that white spine down in there? That's where a lot of the heat in a jalapeno lives, that and the seeds. So you want to do the best you can to get all of that out of there, because this is not meant to be a dish that's going to light your taste buds on fire. So you're going to get down in here near the stem, and you're going to get as much of that out as you can. That would be Susie playing around underneath the island that I'm working on. Okay, so you're going to get all the seeds out of there, and that's one jalapeno ready. Let's do a second one, just so you can see. You're going to find the spot where it wants to sit. Actually, this one's a better example. There's kind of a ridge here, so it's easier to see. You're going to take off the top third again. Throw that in the bowl, and you're going to take the spoon and cut the top there, pull that out. See how that started to crack right there? You want to be really careful that doesn't crack any further, or the cheese is going to run all over the place. The spoon works really well for scraping this stuff out. If you have trouble getting all the seeds out, I give them a shake, but sometimes it helps to run them under the faucet just to wash the seeds out. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is you need a sharp cheddar. The sharper the better. If you really don't like sharp cheddar, you can go with something softer, but don't go with a mozzarella. Like you think of a jalapeno popper is stuffed with mozzarella. It doesn't work for this recipe because it's entirely too mild to go with the bacon. So sharp cheddar is good, doesn't matter, white, yellow. You're going to take a nice thick slice of it, and then you're going to cut it into strips like this. So basically you have a square strip. You're going to take one of your jalapenos and you're going to put the strip in there. If there's a little bit left over, you can just break that chunk off the end. And we'll do that with the other one here. And press it down in there. Now once you get all these little chunks, you can take all the little chunks and you can line them up in a jalapeno. It does not need to be one continuous piece of cheese. So the next thing we need is a strip of bacon. We're going to take the bacon and we're going to start wrapping it around the jalapeno. And just let it stick just like that. Now, what I have here is a baking sheet. It looks black and nasty, but it's one of the ones that we use on the grill, so it's really well seasoned. Stuff doesn't stick to it, so I love this for baking things. And I have a full-size cooling rack that I like to put over top of it. And I'm going to layer the jalapenos so that they don't touch, because if they touch, they will glue themselves together. But you just want to arrange them on the tray so they're not touching. But the reason you wanted to find that spot where your jalapenos won't roll side to side is when you place them on the tray, it makes them more stable. Okay? And the reason we like the cooling rack is because then all the bacon drippings are going to go down through the rack. You're going to be able to pour off the grease, and you're going to have a nice lean bacon by the time you're done. Now, before we started rolling, I turned the oven on to 375 degrees. It is preheating. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these jalapenos, layer them out on the tray, pop them in the oven, and I'm going to show you what they're supposed to look like when they're done, because people say, oh, how much time do you leave them in for? I can't answer that, because depending on whether it's thick cut bacon or regular cut bacon, it changes the amount of time. But I'm going to show you what they look like when they're done, and that's when you're going to take them out. So let me get to this, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, we're back. It's been about 35 minutes. We're going to check on our bacon wrapped cheddar stuffed jalapenos. Can you hear them sizzling? Okay, we're going to pull these out. Be very careful to keep them level, because there's bacon grease down in the pan. And like I told you, this is what they're supposed to look like. I can't give you an exact time, because the bacon, depending on the thickness, is going to take different times to cook, but this is what you're going to look like. I can hear the now. Okay, and like we end all of our segments, don't forget to get yourself a glass of hooch and enjoy it with your favorite rooster. I hope you enjoyed our presentation.